doing? If anybody has any questions related to Amazon, you guys can ask, and I will try to answer as many questions as I can. So basically, doing Amazon, learning Amazon is kind of a necessity in today's world, not just for the sake of selling on Amazon, but making yourself understand how the e-commerce actually works. Why is it important to learn e-commerce? The reason is, of course, because the world, the entire, everybody has been shopping online, and Amazon is the pioneer that created this entire system that is going to tell you how to achieve this goal. So, Amazon is a regulated marketplace, not like earlier, a free market where you could just list any product and start selling. No more. Now it's a very much regulated marketplace, and that is why it's extremely important that you should learn the system first before doing anything, including product hunting and selling products. I also want to add here that a lot of people still believe that once your account is created, you just simply need to go and create a listing and finding a winning product and you'll start getting sales. But that's not how things work. Basically, it's a lot more different than this mere thought that there are some winning products that you can jump on and they will start giving you sales. So, if you are one of those who consider that selling on Amazon is via finding a winning product and just listing it and selling it, then you are on the wrong spot and you might not get any sales at all. Why 90% of Amazon sellers fail, and it's not because of the product. Today I'm going to tell you something that most Amazon mentors will never say publicly. It's not your product, it's not your supplier, it's not even your ads. Most Amazon sellers fail because they don't understand how Amazon actually thinks. And if you stay with me for this live, I'm going to break down what Amazon's A10 algorithm actually rewards, why PPC alone will trap you, the compliance mistakes that kill accounts, and what I would do today if I had to start from zero in Canada. If you're serious about building an Amazon business the right way, not gambling, stay with me. The biggest lie in Amazon. Let's start with the biggest lie. Create account, find hot products, launch, run ads, scale. Sounds simple, right? But here's the problem. Amazon is not a product platform. Amazon is a search engine. And if you treat it like Shopify, you lose. It an algorithm doesn't reward new sellers. It rewards click through rate, conversion rate, sales velocity, listings relevance, customer satisfaction metrics, account health. Amazon wants predictable sellers, not gamblers. Pause and ask. Type in the chat how many of you started with ads first. PPC is gasoline, but most sellers don't even have an engine. They boost a listing that has weak images, poor keyword structure, no emotional positioning, no differentiation, no retail readiness. Then they say Amazon is too competitive. No, your foundation was weak. If two sellers run the same keyword, seller A, strong title, high click through rate image, clear benefit bullets, A plus content, review strategy, seller B, generic title, supplier photos, no brand positioning. Who wins? The algorithm doesn't care who you are, it rewards performance. Now, let me say something most people ignore. Amazon is not a marketing game, it's a compliance game first. One mistake, IP violation, trademark complaint, inauthentic claim, restricted category, missing certification, and your account is gone. Do you know how many sellers come to me after suspension? Let that sit. You don't build freedom by ignoring policies, you build freedom by mastering them. That's your brand's positioning. Now, let's talk about the real way to start today, step by step. If I had to start Amazon from zero in Canada today, here's what I would do. Number one step, market validation. Not jungle scout trend chasing. Ask, is this product retail ready? Does it have repeat purchase behavior? Is there emotional demand? Is it compliance friendly? Step 2, keyword architecture. Amazon shoppers search in patterns. You don't just find keywords, you build clusters. Let's explain this. Primary cluster, core intent. Secondary cluster, use case. Emotional cluster, the audience. Long tail expansion cluster. This increases organic impressions, relevance, and indexation. Step 3, listing built for conversion. Most sellers write features, winners write outcomes. Instead of a hair towel, you write reduce breakage, no neck strain, or anti slip for thick hair because benefits convert. Step number 4, retail readiness before ads. Ask yourself, would I buy this? Is the main image scroll stopping? Is the price justified? Do I look like a real brand? If no, fix before ads. Next step, why most sellers burn cash. Here's what happens. They launch, they run auto campaign. A cost is 40% with no reviews, low conversion, they panic, they increase their bids and they lose more money. That's not scaling, that's bleeding. Now let's address how to think like the algorithm. Amazon doesn't care about your dreams. It cares about predictability, customer satisfaction, repeat purchase, low refund rate, low ODR, good metrics. If you align with Amazon's incentives, you win. This is where your authority grows. Now let's talk about freedom through structure. You don't get freedom by chasing trends. You get freedom by building systems. Let me explain it. Pre purchase risk check, compliance screening, listing optimization checklist, PPC strategy structure, brand positioning clarity. Structure reduces risk. Now let's talk about something for Canadians specifically. Since I think you might be in Canada, Canadian sellers have some advantages. Lower competition than the US, faster brand recognition locally, easier to test, and strong consumer trust, but only if done correctly. Now, the reality check. Amazon is not passive income, it's leveraged income. It rewards skills. If you treat it like a lottery, it punishes you. Comment below, are you building skills or just chasing your luck? Your Amazon's top funnel is education, middle funnel is strategy, and bottom is if you want step by step structure and you're serious about building this safely, I'll put together a framework for Canadian sellers. It's not hype, it's prevention. Do not hard sell aggressively. If you're tired of guessing, you might want to learn the system first. How to choose a product in 2026? Let's start with the most misunderstood step in Amazon, product selection. In 2026, product research is no longer about low competition or high demand tools. Every software shows the same data. Every beginner sees the same charts. That means the informational advantage is gone. If you're choosing a product based only on estimated monthly revenue and review count, you are entering a race that hundreds of others are also entering. Instead, product selection must be risk based, not hype based. You must ask, is this product compliant in Canada and the US? Does it require certifications such as Canada Health Certificate, FCC, FDA, etc.? Is it prone to intellectual property complaints? Is it in a gated category? Does it have a high return rate? Is it fragile or expensive to ship? In 2026, the winners are not those who chase viral products. The winners are those who eliminate risk before they invest. The second layer is differentiation. If your product cannot clearly answer why should someone buy mine instead of the top 3, then you don't have a product, you have inventory risk. The third layer is behavioral demand. Is this product something customers buy once and forget, or does it build repeat purchase or brand loyalty? Repeat purchase products give you algorithm stability. Product research is no longer about finding opportunity, it is about avoiding landmines. Pause and ask, are you choosing based on revenue screenshots or risk analysis? Now let's talk about, is dropshipping dead? Dropshipping on Amazon is the traditional sense is largely unsustainable long term. Amazon prioritizes prime speed, inventory control, and customer satisfaction. When you dropship from random suppliers, you lose control over delivery times, packaging consistency, and stock reliability. That increases late shipment rates and cancellation rates, which damages account health. Additionally, retail arbitrage style dropshipping exposes you to inauthentic complaints. If a brand files a complaint and you cannot provide authorized invoices, your account can be suspended immediately. However, there is nuance. Business model arbitrage is not dead. Low control dropshipping is. Modern Amazon sellers' success requires control, inventory ownership, branding, quality inspection, packaging consistency, compliance documentation. Amazon is shifting towards brand ecosystem, not middlemen. If your business model depends on I don't touch the product, you're operating at algorithmic risk. The next question I'm going to address is private label still worth it? Private label is absolutely still viable, but only if executed as a brand, not as a commodity. In 2016, you could launch a garlic press and win with basic optimization. In 2026, private label must include clear positioning, strong visual identity, listing psychology, conversion engineering, review velocity strategy, and brand story. The biggest mistake new sellers make is believing that private label means putting a logo on a supplier product. Private label now means strategic differentiation. That can be bundling, improved material, functional upgrade, audience specific branding, and emotional positioning. If you're selling Me Too products, you are competing on price. If you're selling identity based products, you are competing on value. Value builds margin, price destroys margin. Private label works, but lazy private label does not. What it what is a realistic first year profit? Let's remove fantasy. In the first year, most serious sellers are not building profit. They are building data and rank. Realistically, month 1 to 3 is about testing and listing optimization. Month 3 to 6 is ranking and PPC refinement. Months 6 to 12 is stabilization and margin improvement. If done properly, a first product might generate 5k to 20k monthly revenue with 10 to 20% net margins after stabilization. But the first 6 months are rarely smooth. Cash flow stress happens because inventory reorders, PPC testing, unexpected returns, and storage fees. The goal of year 1 is not quit your job. The goal is building a stable, compliant asset. Amazon rewards patience and structured scaling. Now let's address the elephant in the room. How much capital is needed? In Canada, a serious private label launch typically requires inventory for $3,000 to around $8,000. Shipping and duties would cost around $1,000 to $2,000. Branding and design might cost around $500 to $2,000. And PPC testing budget can cost around $5,000. Buffer capital always at least 30% reserve. You cannot start with zero and expect stability. Underfunded sellers panic when PPC costs spike. Capital is not just for inventory, it's for resilience. The biggest killer of Amazon's business is running out of cash before ranking stabilizes. Now let's talk about what certifications are required. This depends entirely on category. For example, electronics would require FCC in USA and IC in Canada. Children's product would require CPSI and ASTM. Supplements would require FDA compliance, Health Canada, NPN. Toys would require safety testing reports. Cosmetics would require ingredient compliance. Amazon can request compliance documents at any time. If you cannot produce them within 24 to 72 hours, listing removal is immediate. Compliance must be handled before inventory is shipped. Reactivate compliance is too late. Proactive documentation is protection. What causes this suspension most on Amazon? The top causes include IP complaints, inauthentic complaints, claims, late shipment rate, high order defect rate, restricted product violations, related accounts, flags. The most dangerous one is IP. You can lose your account from a single brand complaint. This is why sourcing must include proper invoices, authorized supplier verification, trademarks screening, parents research. Amazon is not forgiving when documentation is weak. Account safety must be a priority. Let's talk about how to build a brand instead of a commodity listing. Brand building on Amazon means three layers. Layer number one is visual identity, professional images, consistent color scheme, clear benefit communication. The second layer includes emotional targeting. Who is this for? What problem are they emotionally solving? What identity are they reinforcing? Layer 3, system expansion. Cross sell opportunities, repeat purchase products, brand registry protection, email capture outside Amazon, commodity listing compete on price, brands compete on perception, perception allows premium pricing allows margin, and margin allows scaling. Now here's the strategic summary. Amazon in 2026 is no longer beginner friendly, but is structure friendly. If you choose products based on risk elimination, prioritize compliance, engineer listings for conversion, control PPC strategically, protect account health, and think long term, you can build a durable asset. If you chase trends, ignore policies, depend only on ads, underfund inventory, compete on price, you will end up struggling. Amazon is not luck, it's architecture. Now tell me in the comments, are you building randomly or systematically? Are you gambling or engineering? If you're serious about building this properly in Canada, I focus on compliance first Amazon strategy because success is not about speed, it's about survival first. Now, moving on to the next topic, we are going to talk about Amazon 2026 Survival Blueprint. How to build a safe, profitable Amazon business in 2026 without getting suspended. Tonight is not about hype. It's about find a hot product and scale to 10,000 a month. This is about survival because in 2026 Amazon doesn't reward beginner. It rewards structure. Most sellers fail because they even realize they are failing, they still continue to do the wrong. They don't lose because of competition. They lose because they never understood the system. Explain your positioning briefly. Compliance first thinking. System over shortcuts. Long-term asset building. Are you currently selling or researching? Tell me in the comments. This now the reality in 2026. Amazon is a search engine, a logistic company, a risk management platform, a customer experience machine. It is not a trend marketplace, a passive income machine, or a gambling platform. Deep explanation of the algorithm A10 is this. The algorithm prioritizes click through rate, conversion rate, sales velocity, refund rate, account health, relevance, consistency. Now let's explain how amplify performance and they do not create performance. Before we begin, I want you to understand something very clearly. Tonight is not about hype. It's not about finding a trending product and get rich. It's not about screenshots of revenue. Tonight is about reality. Because in 2026, Amazon is not beginner friendly. It's a structure friendly. And because it's a structure friendly, you need to learn the structure. If you understand what I'm about to explain, you won't just avoid mistakes, but you'll build something stable. First, tell me in the chat, are you currently selling on Amazon? Are you still researching? Type selling or researching. I want you to know who I'm speaking to. Let's begin with something most people don't say out loud. Amazon is not a product platform. Amazon is a search engine. And the moment you understand that, everything changes. Most new sellers behave like this. They open a seller account, they use a tool, they find a product with low competition, they message a supplier, they launch, they run ads, and then they panic because nothing moves. Why? Because Amazon does not reward new sellers, it rewards performance history. The A10 algorithm cares about click through rate, conversion rate, sales velocity, customer satisfaction, refund rate, and account health. It does not care that you are new. It does not care that you are investing your money. It does not care that your supplier told you it's high demand. It cares about predictability. Amazon wants sellers to make customers happy without causing problems. This is the foundation. Pause here and then let that sink in. Now let's talk about the biggest trap in 2026. PPC first. Ads are gasoline, but most sellers don't have an engine. They boost a listing that has weak images, has generic bullet points, and has no emotional targeting. It has no differentiation and has no brand positioning. Then they complain about high A costs. But let me ask you something. If 100 people click your listing and only 3 buy, is that an ad problem or is it a listing problem? Let me know in the chat. Listing or ad? It's a listing problem. Amazon amplifies performance, it does not create it. If your conversion rate is low, ads will expose it faster. Now let's talk about product selection in 2026. This is where most people make their first irreversible mistake. Product research used to be about opportunity. Now it is about risk elimination. Before you ask how much revenue does this make, you must ask, is this compliant? In Canada and USA, does it require certification? Does it fall into a restricted category? Is it prone to IP complaints? Is it fragile? Is it oversized? Does it have a high return rate? Let me explain something serious. One IP complaint can freeze your listing. Two can freeze your account. If you cannot produce clean invoices from an authorized supplier, you can lose everything overnight. Amazon is not forgiving, it's procedural. If you don't respect procedure, you create risk. Pause. Has anyone here experienced a suspension before? Now let's go deeper. Private label. Private label. Is it still worth it? Yes, but only if you treat it like a brand. Putting your logo on a supplier product is not branding. Branding is positioning. Branding answers these questions, such as who is this for? What specific problems does it solve? What emotional identity does it reinforce? If your listing looks identical to the top three competitors, you are competing on price. Price war destroys margin. Margin funds growth. If you protect margins, you cannot scale. Let that sink in. Now let's talk about money. Realistically, first year profit expectations. Most serious sellers spend the first 3 to 6 months stabilizing, not profiting. You're testing your keywords, refining your PPC. You are improving images, gathering reviews, and reordering inventory. Revenue might grow before profit does, and that's normal. Amazon is not passive income, it is leveraged income. You build systems first, then systems produce income. If you came here expecting instant results, this business will frustrate you. If you came here to build a skill, it can change your life. Are you here for speed or stability? Type in the comments. Now I want you to discuss something extremely important: compliance. Because nobody, just literally nobody, talks about this until it's too late. Different categories require different documentation. Electronic require certification. Children's product require safety testing. Supplements require regulatory compliance. Toys require lab reports. Amazon can request documents at any time. If you cannot provide them within 72 hours, your listing can be removed immediately. And many sellers only discover this after inventory is already in FBA. That is backwards. Compliance must be verified before inventory is shipped. Prevention is easier than appeal writing. Now let's shift this to listing engineering. Most sellers write features, winners write outcomes. Instead of writing towel and its material, you write reduce breakage and cuts drawing time in half. Instead of flexible arms, you write even tension distribution prevents painful pulling. People buy results, not materials. Your main image must stop the scroll. Your second image must explain the benefit clearly. Your third image must eliminate objections. Your fourth image must build trust. Every image has a job. Every bullet has a purpose. This is not random writing, it's psychological engineering. If you're being honest, is your listing engineered or assembled? Now let's talk PPC strategy the right way. Phase 1 is data collection, auto campaign, controlled budget. Phase 2 is isolation, extract converting keywords, build exact campaigns around them. Phase 3 is scaling, increase bids only on profitable clusters. Do not scale everything, scale precision. ACOS will often start high. That is normal. But over time, tacos should decrease. If tacos increases month after month, your listing is weak or your product positioning is flawed. PPC is not magic. it's a diagnostic tool. Now let's talk about capital. Many sellers fail not because of bad products, but because they run out of money. Inventory cycle, order, ship, sell, and reorder. If you sell out because reordering arrives, ranking collapses. If you underfund PPC testing, data remains incomplete. Amazon rewards stability, and stability requires capital discipline. You don't need massive capital, but you need realistic capital. Now, let's talk about building a brand instead of a single SKU. Single SKU sellers are vulnerable, brands are resilient. A brand has visual identity, consistent positioning, repeat purchase potential, cross sell expansion, and protection through registry. On the other hand, commodity sellers compete on price. Brands compete on perception because perception creates value and value creates margin. The margin then creates freedom. Amazon does not reward hustle, it rewards structure, it rewards sellers who understand compliance, and I have talked about the compliance in a lot of detail above. Engineering listings such as search engine optimization, control cash flow, scale PPC intelligently, protect account health, think long term. If you treat Amazon like gambling, it will punish you. If you treat Amazon like an architecture, it can reward you. If you want to know how to build a safe, profitable brand without getting destroyed, this live is going to answer some of those. Before we start again, I want to ask you something really simple. Why are you here? Are you here because you saw a screenshot somewhere of someone making $50,000 a month? Are you here because you're tired of your job? Or are you here because you genuinely want to build a structured online asset? Be honest with yourself. Type in the chat freedom, side income, full time business, or just curious. Let me tell you something clearly. Amazon in 2026 is not beginner friendly, it is system friendly. If you approach this the wrong way, Amazon will not just slow you down, it will remove you. I'm going to show you why most sellers fail in silence, what actually determines survival, how to engineer a listing, how to think about PPC correctly, and how to avoid suspension before it happens. The illusion of hot product research. Let me tell you about two hypothetical sellers. Seller A watches YouTube, sees a low competition product, it has 4,000 monthly searches. The top sellers makes 25,000 monthly, only 200 reviews. He thinks perfect. He sources it from Alibaba. He orders 500 units and launches it. Then he starts running the ads. After a while, for instance, let's say 3 months, he gets confused. Why? Because the top seller is not winning due to low reviews. They are winning because they have 3 years sales history. They convert at 18%. They have optimized A+. They have a brand registry with Amazon. They have several repeat customers and they have external traffic driving on their listing. Seller A never analyzed that. Now, Seller B. Seller B starts differently. Instead of asking how much does this make, she asks why risk? What risk does this carry? She checks, is it patented? Is it trademarked? Does it require certifications? Is it fragile? Is it seasonal? What's the refund rate pattern? She realizes one product requires children's safety testing costing $3,000. She eliminates it. She finds another product with steady demand, low compliance risk, and improvement potential. That difference, risk thinking, is what separates survival from frustration. Now, type in the chat if you are going to take the opportunity or the risk. Which one are you currently focusing on? Now, let's talk about the compliance time bomb. Imagine this scenario: you launch a B2 product, it starts selling, you're excited. Then one day you receive your listing has been removed due to safety concerns. Please provide testing documentation. You don't have it. Your supplier says no problem, we send later. Amazon gives you 72 hours. Your inventory is stranded. Your listing is dead. Your ranking collapses. This is not rare. It happens every single day. Amazon is not emotional, it's procedural. It expects documentation. If you sell electronics, you may need FCC or IC certification. If you sell children's items, you may need ASTM or CPSIA compliance. If you sell supplements, regulatory documentation is mandatory. The biggest mistake sellers make is assuming if others are selling it, it must be safe. Wrong. Many listings survive until they are flagged. The moment your listing is flagged, your business is tested. Prevention is boring, but suspension is painful. Has anyone checked compliance before ordering inventory? Type, let me know in the comments. Let's talk about listing psychology now. I want you to imagine two listings selling the same product. For instance, let's take a towel. Listing A says towel for women, soft, absorbent, and in blue color. Listing B says anti-slip hair towel for thick, wet hair, lightweight wrap, reduces breakage and neck strain. Which one communicates outcome? The second listing understands something critical. People do not buy towels, they buy faster drying, less frizz, less breakage, comfort and convenience. Now let's analyze conversion. If 1,000 people see your listing and 100 click, your CTR is 10%. If 100 people click and 15 buy, your conversion rate is 15%. Amazon's algorithm sees that. It prefers listings that convert well because that increases platform revenue. So when people say Amazon is saturated, what they mean is my listing does not convert better than competitors. Saturation is relative to execution quality. If you had to rate your listing from 1 to 10 on clarity, what would it be? Let me know in the comments. Now let's talk about ads. Most sellers do this. They launch a listing, run auto campaigns with high bids and no structure. Then they panic. Let me explain this proper structure. Phase 1 is data collection. You run auto campaign with controlled daily budget. You observe search terms. The phase number 2 is extraction. You identify converting keywords. You move them into exact match campaigns. You lower bids on waste. Phase 3 is scaling. You increase bids only on profitable clusters. You monitor tacos and not just ACOS. ACOS tells you ads efficiency. Tacos tells you business health. Your tacos keeps rising month after month. Organic rank is weak. Ads cannot fix poor positioning. They expose it. Are you scaling profit or scaling spend? Now let's talk about cash flow and the silent killer. Let me tell you about the silent killer. Stock out. You finally rank. Sales increase. You feel confident. Then inventory runs out. For 3 weeks, your listing disappears from first page. You reorder, it arrives, but now you're ranking on page number 3. Momentum is fragile. Amazon rewards consistency. You must reorder before you feel comfortable. Cash flow planning is more important than logo design. Underfunded sellers panic and lower price. Price wars reduce margin. Reduced margins reduce ad budget. And reduced ad budget reduces visibility. If the cycle collapses, it's not about motivation, it's about discipline.